Have you ever wondered what really changes when you hit 80? Healthy Madam discovered some surprises that make this chapter of life unique. We resharing how to thrive through them. As we cross into our 80s, life starts to feel different in ways we might not expect. From how our bodies move to how we connect with others, these shifts can catch us off guard, but they don't have to hold us back. In this video, Healthy Madam dives into 5 surprising changes you'll notice after turning 80 and shares simple, practical ways to embrace them with confidence. We've learned these insights from years of living alongside seniors and hearing their stories. Stick with us, because by the end, you'll have tips to make this stage of life not just manageable, but truly rewarding. You might even wish you'd known these sooner. Change number 1. Your energy shifts in new ways. Do you sometimes feel like your energy just isn't what it used to be, even for simple tasks? A member of the Healthy Madam community, a retired nurse in her early 80s from a small town in Oregon, used to spend her mornings tending her vibrant flower garden. She'd prune roses and plant tulips for hours, her hands steady and her energy boundless. But recently, she noticed that after just 20 minutes of weeding, her arms felt heavy and she needed to sit down. At first, she thought she was just having an off day, but it kept happening. She shared with us, "I wondered if I'd lost my love for gardening or if my body was trying to tell me something." It wasn't a loss of passion, it was her body adjusting to a new phase. Another community member, a former carpenter in his 80s, echoed this. He used to build furniture in his garage, but now, even carrying a toolbox left him winded. He felt frustrated, missing the stamina of his younger years. As we enter our 80s, energy levels often ebb due to natural changes in muscle efficiency, metabolism, and oxygen use. Our bodies process energy more slowly, so tasks like gardening, walking, or even housework can feel more taxing. This isn't about losing your spark, it's your body asking for a new rhythm. The good news: you can adapt and thrive. Break tasks into shorter bursts, 15 minutes of activity, followed by a 10-minute rest. Gentle exercises like chair yoga, tai chi, or daily stretching can boost stamina over time. Healthy Madam suggests starting with a 10-minute walk 3 times a week, gradually increasing as you feel stronger. Our nurse began pacing her gardening, working in short sessions and adding a morning stretch routine with a YouTube video designed for seniors. She now enjoys her garden longer without feeling drained. The carpenter joined a local senior fitness class, focusing on low-impact strength training, and found he could lift his toolbox with less effort after a month. Nutrition is key. To try protein-rich snacks like Greek yogurt, almonds, or hard-boiled eggs to stabilize energy. Staying hydrated with water or herbal teas also helps. If fatigue feels overwhelming, check with your doctor to rule out deficiencies like low iron or vitamin D. Embracing this shift means listening to your body, celebrating what it can do, and finding a balance that keeps you active and independent. Small changes, like using a lightweight watering can or sitting while chopping vegetables, can make daily tasks more manageable. Our community members remind us that adjusting isn't giving up, it's rediscovering joy in what you love. Change number 2. Memory works a little differently. Ever find yourself pausing to recall a name or detail that used to come instantly? A Healthy Madam follower, an 81-year-old former librarian from Maine, shared a story that hit home for many. She was chatting with her neighbor at a community picnic when she blanked on the neighbor's name, despite knowing her for years. She laughed it off, saying, "Oh, you know how it is." But privately, it shook her confidence. She told us, "I started worrying if my mind was slipping or if I'd lose more memories." Another community member, an 80-year-old retired accountant, noticed he'd forget where he parked his car at the grocery store. He'd walk the lot, chuckling to himself, but it left him wondering if this was normal. Both shared how these moments made them feel vulnerable, as if their sharp minds were betraying them. Yet, they also found ways to adapt, which inspired others in our community. After 80, it's normal for memory to slow down a bit. This isn't necessarily a sign of serious issues. Often just the brain taking longer to process due to changes in neural connections and reduced blood flow. Recalling names, dates, or multitasking might require more effort, but your wisdom and life experience remain intact. Here's how to stay sharp. Try brain games like crossword puzzles, Sudoku, or apps like Lumosity, which are senior-friendly. Social engagement, like joining a book club or calling a friend weekly, boosts cognitive health. Our librarian started carrying a small notebook to jot down names and key details, which eased her anxiety and became a fun habit. She even decorated it with stickers. She also joined a local history discussion group, keeping her mind active through lively debates. The accountant began using a parking app to snap a photo of his car's location, turning a frustration into a simple fix. Healthy Madam recommends 7 to 8 hours of sleep nightly, as poor sleep can worsen memory lapses. Limit distractions during conversations, turn off the TV, or find a quiet spot to focus. If you're concerned, a doctor can assess for underlying issues like medication side effects. Try mindfulness techniques like deep breathing for 5 minutes daily to improve focus. Our community also suggests labeling key items like your spice rack to reduce mental strain. These steps aren't about fighting age, but embracing your mind's new pace, letting you enjoy conversations and memories with confidence and joy. Change number 3. Your social world becomes more selective. Have you noticed your circle of friends getting smaller, but the connections feeling deeper? An 83-year-old widower from our Healthy Madam community, once a lively host in his Georgia neighborhood, used to organize monthly barbecues for dozens of friends and family. Laughter filled his backyard as kids played and adults swapped stories. But over the past few years, his gatherings dwindled some. Friends moved to be near their kids, others faced health challenges, and a few passed on. He found himself cherishing quiet coffee chats with 2 close neighbors and weekly calls with his daughter. At first, he felt a pang of loss, wondering if he was becoming that lonely old man. But he realized these smaller moments felt richer, more heartfelt. Another community member, an 82-year-old retired teacher, shared how she stopped attending her large church group because the noise and crowds felt overwhelming. Instead, she invited a few friends for tea. Finding those intimate chats left her fulfilled. In your 80s, social circles often shrink as life shifts, friends relocate, health changes, or priorities evolve. This isn't loss. It's a chance to focus on meaningful relationships. Nurture quality over quantity by scheduling regular calls or visits with trusted loved ones. If mobility limits you, video chats on Zoom or FaceTime can bridge the gap. Widower learned to use his tablet for weekly virtual coffee with his daughter, laughing over old family photos. Joining a senior center or hobby group like knitting or birdwatching can spark new connections without overwhelm. Our teacher found a small gardening club where she bonded over shared passions. Healthy Madam suggests setting a weekly connection goal, like calling one friend or attending one event. If grief over lost friendships lingers, try journaling to process emotions or talk to a counselor for support. Technology, like simplified smartphones for seniors, can keep you linked to distant family. Our community reminds us that smaller circles mean deeper bonds. Focus on people who uplift you. Host a low-effort gathering, like a potluck where everyone brings a dish to keep things manageable. These steps ensure you feel valued and connected, making your 80s a time of warm, authentic relationships that light up your days. Change number 4. Senses like hearing and taste change. Do meals taste a bit less vibrant? Or are conversations harder to follow in noisy places? A Healthy Madam community member, an 80-year-old former baker from Ohio, used to pride herself on her homemade cinnamon rolls, which drew neighbors to her kitchen. But recently, she noticed her recipes tasted bland, even when she followed them perfectly. She also struggled to hear her grandkids in a bustling diner, missing their stories and feeling left out. It's like the world got quieter and less flavorful, she shared, half joking but clearly frustrated. Another follower, an 84-year-old retired bus driver, found himself turning up the TV louder each month, annoying his wife, and squinting at road signs while driving at dusk. These changes made him feel disconnected, as if life's joys were slipping away. Both worried these shifts were stealing their independence, but found practical ways to adapt. Sensory changes, like dulled taste, hearing, or vision, are common after 80 due to natural declines in sensory nerves. Food may seem less appealing, conversations harder in noisy settings, or reading trickier in dim light. The fix for taste: experiment with fresh herbs like basil or spices like cumin in moderation to avoid health risks like high sodium. Our baker tried adding lemon zest and ginger to her rolls, rediscovering their appeal, and consulted a dietitian to balance flavors safely. For hearing, a doctor's visit can assess if a hearing aid suits you. Modern ones are discreet and effective. Our bus driver got a hearing aid and now enjoys family dinners without straining. For vision, regular eye exams can catch issues like cataracts early. Brighter lighting or magnifying glasses help with reading. Healthy Madam suggests quieter settings for talks, like a calm cafe, and using apps like Seeing AI for visual aid. Check medications, as some affect taste or hearing. And stay hydrated to support sensory health. Our community recommends explaining your needs to loved ones, saying, "I hear better in quiet spots." Fosters understanding. These adjustments aren't about loss, but about reclaiming joy, ensuring you savor meals, chats, and daily moments with confidence and ease. Change number 5. You cherish simpler joys more deeply. Have you found yourself savoring small moments like a sunny afternoon more than ever? An 82-year-old retired mechanic from our Healthy Madam community, living in a cozy Texas suburb, used to spend his days fixing cars and chasing big projects. But now he finds himself lingering on his porch with a book, watching birds flit by, something he never prioritized before. These quiet moments feel like gold, he told us, marveling at how a warm breeze or a good story brings him peace. Another follower, an 80-year-old former seamstress, shared how she now treasures knitting blankets for her grandkids, each stitch a moment of love. She used to rush through tasks, but now, slow afternoons with tea and her needles feel like a gift. Both admitted that earlier in life, they'd overlooked these simple joys, distracted by busyness. After 80, many seniors shift toward cherishing life's simpler joys: a warm meal, a kind word, a blooming flower. This reprioritization comes from reflecting on what truly matters, letting go of fleeting ambitions. To embrace this, try mindfulness practices like journaling 3 things you're grateful for. Daily Hour Mechanic started this, noting small wins like a neighbor's wave, which lifted his mood. Short nature walks, even 10 minutes around your yard, can ground you. Notice colors or sounds to stay present. Our seamstress began listening to calming music while knitting, enhancing her joy. Healthy Madam suggests sharing stories with family. Record a short video of life lessons for grandkids or write a letter sharing memories. This deepens connections and legacy. If emotions feel heavy, try guided meditation apps like Calm, designed for seniors to foster peace. Volunteer in small ways, like reading to kids at a library, to feel purposeful. Our community reminds us that these moments aren't small, they're profound. Create rituals like a weekly tea time with a friend to anchor joy. This shift makes your 80s a time of rich, heartfelt experiences filled with gratitude and meaning. These 5 changes are just the beginning of what makes life after 80 so special. Curious about how to make daily tasks easier as a senior? Check out Healthy Madam's next video on simple home hacks for aging gracefully. Which of these changes surprised you most? Or how are you embracing your 80s? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. If these tips resonated, Healthy Madam would love to keep sharing wisdom with you. Subscribe and tap the bell to stay in the loop. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.